PenFed Free Checking offers zero fees and zero balance requirements for zero hassle. PenFed Access America Checking lets you earn money on your balance for dreams big and small. Choose the best account for you and start making the most of your money. Learn more at penfed.org. Federally insured by NCUA. To receive any advertised product, you must become a member of PenFed Credit Union.
PenFed's got great rates for everyone.
This is Scott Becker with the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. We try each day to make sure we learn something, that you're entertained, that I learned something, and a lot more. Today's discussion is, it's good to be friends with the president, part 2. So about a week or so ago, after the election, President Trump, we did a podcast on it's good to be friends with the president, and we really talked about Elon Musk. And and so people that take this some way the wrong way, I'm a huge Elon Musk fan, imperfect, but a huge fan. So today's discussion, it's good to be friends with the president, part 2. And today's topic is Peter Thiel. And just again, for those that are offended by me saying something negative about Peter Thiel, I'm not. I happen to be a huge Peter Thiel fan as well. As goofy as he's on some things, he's a brilliant person. But here's what's going on with Peter Thiel and his company, Palantir. Palantir is now up 270% year to date. He was an early Trump supporter out of Silicon Valley, before Silicon Valley supported Trump. And before a lot of the censorship of the last, administration and so forth. But Peter Thiel, his stock in Palantir are up 270% year to date. It's up another 9% today. It's moving from the NYSE to the NASDAQ, and just again, knocking it out of the park. And I don't know that Trump and Peter Thiel remain so close. Thiel was an ardent backer in the first campaign, second campaign. I'm not sure so much right now. It seems like he's been supplanted a little bit by Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk. But the concept being Palantir is hitting it out of the park. There I do have some FOMO because I knew Thiel was brilliant. Just didn't realize how to successfully be with this company. Just simply amazing. So that's the gist of this podcast. A couple of things I'll talk about in addition. The first is, the markets are melting down today on concerns that essentially you'll probably get this on Saturday. This is Friday I'm recording, but just on the fact that really the economy is going pretty strong. And of course, it's a fake economy going really strong because there's so much deficit spending. And we'll talk about that in a separate podcast in the great war that's coming up between Trump, Powell, and Musk that we see coming. We'll talk about that in a second. But I do see the market getting killed today based on the concept that rate cuts are going to come a lot slower than expected originally. So the economy is still quite heated up, is what it looks like right now. The third thing I'll talk about is one of the things that's happened in our healthcare system. There are so many brilliant oncologists out there, yet the oncologists themselves are limited in scope. They work in silos. They have only so much energy. They're fantastic, but it's an impossible situation. One of the things I tell anybody who has an acute episode of cancer or a horrible episode of cancer is you ought to be talking to a company like Private Health Management that navigates the entire system. And just for the record, Private Health Management is not at all a customer, a client, anybody we do business with. I'm just a believer that would be one of my first calls, besides getting into the right oncologist and trying to navigate options if one has a serious cancer. And the definition of a serious cancer is anyone that you or your family member has. So that's the concept today. But the real concept today is Palantir, Peter Thiel, good to be friends with the president. Second, we talked about the market down today. We will talk separately in a podcast about the coming war between Powell, Trump, and Musk. And finally, again, Private Health Management, we recommend it heavily for anybody that's dealing with a serious cancer type of situation. Thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. Thank you very much.
PenFed Free Checking offers zero fees and zero balance requirements for zero hassle. PenFed Access America Checking lets you earn money on your balance for dreams big and small. Choose the best account for you and start making the most of your money. Learn more at penfed.org. Federally insured by NCUA. To receive any advertised product, you must become a member of PenFed Credit Union.